All right, so we're gonna make meatloaf. We're gonna make it and we are gonna can it, and we are going to can it by water bath. This is my disclaimer. I'm not telling you this is what you should do. I'm showing you my recipe. I'm showing you how I water bath meat. It's not recommended by the government to water bath meat. However, I've been doing it a long time, as well as our ancestors have, and I haven't had any problems. So again, this is what I do. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm showing you how to do it, and I'm showing you my recipes. So we're gonna make some meatloaf today. And this recipe that I have calls for 4 pounds of meatloaf. So you wanna get your burger in here. This is my 4 pounds. You're gonna need an egg per pound. So I'm gonna be using, I got four eggs here that I've already cracked. I'm gonna mix this well. While I'm mixing this, I wanna let you know, to prepare your jars, go ahead and wash them, dry them, and sterilize them. You can sterilize them in a dishwasher, really hot, or you can boil them in a large pot. Whatever you do, you need to make sure that the lids and the jars are nice and sterilized. So I'm gonna get this mixed up in here. That's your egg. And then we're gonna need a cup of onions. Actually, that's 3/4 of a cup onions. And I might need a little bit more. And then I have about an eighth, just a little more than an eighth of a cup of garlic. I'm gonna mix that all up in there real well. And I'm going to add, I have to take my gloves off in order to do this. But I'm gonna add like 4 or 5 shakes of Worcestershire sauce, and then I'm also going to put ketchup in here. I'll come back and show you what I'm doing. Well, here, no, you know what? I can take my gloves off and I can put new gloves on. Make sure your workspace is sanitized also. Okay, so the Worcestershire sauce, I'm a really kind of by the eye kind of person. I'm gonna just do, I don't know, less than 1/4 of a cup, maybe an eighth of a cup. And then I'm going to take some ketchup. You can use whatever kind of sauce you want. Ketchup, spaghetti sauce, tomato sauce, whatever you want. Make it your own. But I put quite a bit in there. Okay, I'm gonna go get some gloves and I'll be back and we'll finish this up. Okay, I got all my goodies in there. I'm gonna mix it really, really well. Get all of your Worcestershire and your ketchup, get it all well mixed together. Okay, now you want to use cracker crumbs. You can use cracker crumbs, you can use oatmeal, you can use cornmeal, you can use whatever you want that works best for you. But what you're going to do is you're only going to put it in little at a time and mix it really, really well. And then you're going to keep adding cracker crumbs or whatever it is that you're using until you get the consistency of a meatball. And I'll be right back to show you what that looks like. All right, now that we have all that mixed in, I used about 2.5 cups. It's going to depend on how wet your meat mixture is. But if you can roll it into a ball like that, then it's ready to go. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my jars ready to fill. I'm using pint jars, wide mouth, because they're going to come out of there a lot better. You're gonna wanna oil the inside of your jar just up to that first thread. So I will be back in a few minutes while I get my jars ready. Okay, so you're gonna oil your jars. You don't have to put a lot in them. I guess it depends on what the fat percentage is of your fat to beef. Mine is an 80-20, so I'm gonna get some fat, but I'm not gonna get a whole lot. And I'll be right back because I forgot to grab my gloves. Okay, got my gloves. Make sure everything is really sanitized when you do this because it's just really, really important. So I'm gonna put my burger and my meatloaf mixture into my jar. And I'm gonna pack it down pretty good. Depending on the fat to burger ratio that you use, will really depend on how it shrinks down. You need to get the air pockets out because that's what holds the bacteria. So you see those little pockets down there? You need to make sure that your meat is all down in there. It needs to be totally packed in. You don't want any air pockets whatsoever. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna fill up my jars, and then when we come back, I'll show you what they look like, and then we'll get them in the canner, and we're gonna water bath them for 3 hours. So I'll be right back. Okay, so once you have your jars packed, you get those air bubbles out of there, and take your clean dishcloth or cloth, whatever you want to use. I always keep one soaking in bleach while I'm doing this, and you're gonna want to make sure that the rims of these jars are wiped off really well. This is so important. And you're going to take your sterilized jars, don't touch the inside, and you're going to put them on here, and you're going to do them finger tight, which is just to the point of resistance. So I don't have to work hard to get that off. And you're going to do that with every one of your jars. And then we're going to put them in our water bath canner, and we are going to water bath these for 3 hours. They're going to go into a canner with cold water in it because the meat is cold, the ingredients are cold, so it's cold jars, cold water, and then you're going to bring your water to a full rolling boil, and then your timer starts at that point. Do not do any less than 3 hours. If you do a little bit more, that's not going to hurt anything, but no less. So I'm going to get these in the canner, and then I'll be back in 3 hours, and we will see what we have. So this is our rolling boil. So in 3 hours, we will have some meatloaf, and I also threw a couple quarts of carrots in there. So timer starts now. Okay, meatloaf done. I was really tired last night, so I didn't get a chance to show you, but it looks really good. All cooked. I'm gonna open it up here. Really nice seal. Very nice seal. I love it when it's hard to get open. Oh my gosh, smells fantastic. Looks kind of ugly, but so last time I did this, I did it in quart jars, and I didn't have the straight neck. It kind of, you know how it's kind of. But anyway, so that's why I did it in these. Normally I would do it in the quart jars, but I need to find the ones like this. So let's see. Okay, well, give it a little help here. There we go. Just kind of, all right, well, I guess it really doesn't make a difference. Somebody told me that if you use a burger that has a little more fat in it, that it will, I hear it, that it will shrink a little bit more in the jar. So maybe that's the key. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here we have it. got grease on it, so we're gonna heat it up, but here is the final product. It's cooked all the way through. I am going to take it and heat it up. You want to have it nice and hot just to make sure that you've got any bacteria that might have stayed in there. So if you heat it up till it's hot, you should be okay, or you will be okay. So I'm gonna go heat this up and then I'll be right back. All right, so it's nice and hot. I like ketchup on mine. Got a little bit much there. So, okay, it's got good texture. It's just like meatloaf. I think maybe I would use a little bit more crackers in there just to firm it up a little bit more, but it's good. Success. Here's your bite. Enjoy.